You can make your way on over to Hector's Grubhub, grab yourself a bite to eat. It is the best food you can get at a racetrack, second to none. So you can head on over to Hector's Grubhub, grab yourself a bite to eat. You can visit the gals in green at the registration camper. You can grab some home quarter drag and drive gear. You can grab some SIR gear, cash only though. So please do go and do that. And as well, we need to thank all of our sponsors once again. We're looking to thank RWH Motorsports, Tiger Automotive, Triumph Construction, Superior Diesel Services, Kipco Millwright Machine Services, Sheriff Crane and Rigging, Safe Lift, Bridges Health, Ashley Woodvine Photography, Performance Plus, LB Signs, and the Saskatoon Tees, and of course, Saskatchewan International Raceway. Thank you to everyone for being a part of Home Quarter Drag and Drive 2026. I hope it's been a fun day so far, and I will be back in a couple moments. All right, folks, we are getting right back to it here. Thanks again to our staff for turning the track around, finding out what's going on. We've got the top end cleared here, so we should be right back to it. Thanks again, everyone, for your patience as we make sure that the track is ready to go. It is, and we're going to be going right back to it here. All right, we've got a by run here. This is going to be James Frayne from Weyburn. This is a 1961 Ford Econoline. Man, I love the idea of a cab over pickup truck, and this is just a phenomenal one. I'm a big fan of this one. All right, he's got a solo shot here.
Is that better? Hold on a second.
And let's see what he's going to do. He's going to grab that elapsed time here. Oh, big wander off the hill, throttle there, dove towards the right-hand lane, or sorry, the inside of the lane there. Did get it squared away, though, and is putting together a fine run. He's going to be happy with the reaction time. Just a 003 on the reaction time for that one. He's going to be very pleased with that. That's a 13:22 at 97 miles an hour for the Econoline.
And then the other camera? Is it good?
Yeah, it's in the camera just a little bit in the left corner. But.
All right, in the left-hand lane, we've got Josh Verdun from Weyburn. That's a 2016 Ford Focus 2-liter turbo. 300 horsepower for it. And in the right-hand lane, that is Sheldon Kletzel from Warman with the never enough power in the Ford F-150. My, oh my. I'd like to see what he thinks is enough. It runs in 11:59 at 121 miles per hour. The Ford Focus runs through at 1580 at 91. Alrighty, here we go. Matt Hendry is in the left-hand lane in the 2010 Dodge Challenger 6.1 liter Hemi. And in the right-hand lane, that is Chelsea Lockie from Viscount, Saskatchewan. And this is a 2021 Dodge Ram TRX. 6.2 liters, 702 horsepower underneath the hood of that Ram. We got a pair of Dodges, going to have a duel, but you couldn't find two different Dodges if you tried, I don't believe. The Challenger and the TRX. And the TRX is hanging in there. If anything, the TRX is out in front. The Challenger's going to have to reel it back in out through the top end. Unbelievable. It's the TRX. The big pickup truck runs at 1287 at 105 miles per hour. Matt Hendry and the Challenger ran a 1349 at 103. I think that's the TRX's best pass by a bunch. I don't know if that's going to help in the ET competition, though, in terms of the spread of it. But still, just a phenomenal shot from that big Dodge. Oh, man, that's amazing. All right. We got some more modern muscle going on here. Kerry Reap in the left-hand lane. That's a 2014 Ford Mustang, 3.7 liters, 305 horsepower. And in the right-hand lane, it's Floyd Chappell, 2013 Dodge Challenger, 392 cubic inches. And here we go. Challenger versus Mustang. Mustang held the advantage at first. The Challenger is starting to open up a little bit now. Challenger trying to hold off the last charge. And it's going to be the Challenger running a 1451 at 101. Kerry Reap in the Mustang ran a 1510 at 93 miles an hour. All right. Two very different pickup trucks rolling to the line this time. This is Jamie Majorum in the left-hand lane. That's a 2016 Chevrolet 2500 6.6 liter. And in the right-hand lane is Warren McCauley. That's a 1991 Ford Ranger 3 liter. Man, has the Ranger not just like increased in size for no real apparent reason? Like this size, like the 90s Ranger was about the perfect size light pickup truck. I don't know what they're doing with the new ones now. They're the size of an old F-150. Make those things smaller. They were great for hauling the occasional thing that you needed hauled, but also, you know, not getting totally lost in a parking lot in terms of trying to find a place to park. At any rate, the big truck runs a 1433 at 92. The Ranger an 1835 at 73. That Ranger's been in the 18s all day. You have to check the decimal points there on the time and see exactly how close he is running, but so far, it looks to be pretty consistent. And again, it was an 18-second truck that won one of our classes last year. So there's certainly precedent. Alrighty, in our left-hand lane is Chad Hildebrand. That's a 2018 Ford F-150. It's got 5 liters Ford there, no horsepower disclosed. And in the right-hand lane, that's David Scott from North Battleford. That's a 2014 Chevrolet Camaro. This one does disclose the horsepower as 550. It's a supercharged 6.2-liter LS motor, but the Ford pickup truck is absolutely storming away down the top end. And he runs a 1063 at 130 miles per hour. The Camaro runs a 1356 at 107. That's a good run for the Camaro, and indeed a great run for our pickup truck. Oh, we're running back this one. This was in our last round of time trials. These two locked horns in the left-hand lane. It is the cursed Oldsmobile 442 1987 edition rocking an LS2. And in the right-hand lane, that is the Banff 2 of Ian Yarenko from Battleford. It's a 2023 Ford F-150 making 700 horsepower from its 5-liter Ford, and it's squatted and is on its way. Well, it found some traction there. And the F-150 runs a 983 at 138 miles per hour. The 442, the Curse 442, runs an 1185 at 112. Unbelievable pass for the pickup truck. The Banff 2 earning its vanity plate with a 983 at 138 miles an hour. Both vehicles going around the water box. A bit of a dry hop for the Datsun, though. Getting those tires heated up just a little bit. That's Jeff Ham. He hails from Martinsville. And indeed, he's driving a 1973 Datsun 240, 5.3 240Z motor, making 600 horsepower. And in our right-hand lane, that is Darren Dixon. That's a 1969 Chevelle SS. And it looks like it's going to be the Datsun getting there first this time. Yeah, an 1166 at 121. Chevelle ran a 1274 at 96 on that pass. The Datsun getting her done on that one. All right, folks, this is a fun one. Look at these two pickup trucks. Just incredible examples of the breed. I'm a big fan of both of them here. So we got Tyson Daranoski in the left-hand lane. He's got the 72 GMC C1500. And in the right-hand lane is Clip Dondonu from Saskatchewan. That's a 1970 Chevrolet C10. He's got 450 horses. And let's see what I can find here. Tyson Daranoski says he also has 450 horses. So the matchup really doesn't get much more even than this in terms of horsepower. Man, this is a sight. I love it. The black GMC in the left-hand lane, the yellow Chevrolet in the right-hand lane. And you can see 450 horsepower. It hooks up pretty evenly. All right. In the right-hand lane, they're going to run a 1378 at 99 miles an hour. Tyson Daranoski in the left-hand lane is going to run a 1425 at 92 miles an hour. That was a fun one. Oh, man. Just fantastic stuff to see two classic pickup trucks going at it at our drag strip here today. In our left-hand lane, we've got Brett Gregg from Floral, Saskatchewan. That's a 1967 Dodge Dart GT, 360 cubic inches of Mopar motor underneath that one. And in the right-hand lane, well, heck, it's another Mopar. This one is Sarah Stinson. That's a 2013 Dodge Challenger RT, 5.7-liter Hemi, question marks on the horsepower. We've got Dodge is separated by a few decades on this one. Dart versus Challenger. Again, the elapsed time is what matters most, but nobody wants to get to the finish line second all the same. The Dart looks like it is trying to open up a little bit of a lead on the Challenger here. And it's going to be the Dart running through to 1391 at 97 miles an hour. The Challenger runs a 1441 at 96. Just a heads up, folks, we are going to close the lanes at 1 o'clock. The lanes are going to close at 1 o'clock today. So if you want to get your runs in, you should probably make your way to the lanes now. That's about 35 minutes. But the staging lanes are going to close at 1 o'clock today. All right, next set of burnouts incoming. We've got another duel of the Dodges here. This one a battle of the pickup trucks here. All right, Cole Samet's in the left-hand lane in the 88 Dakota, making 350 horsepower. And in the right-hand lane, it's Eric Humphreys in the 76 Dodge D200, 440 cubic inches. He has a displacement advantage of about 80 cubic inches, doesn't disclose the horsepower, so I can't tell you the gap there. Although you can certainly see the gap on the track right now. It's going to be the D200 in the right-hand lane. The Dakota is trying to reel him back in, though. Dakota's putting on a top-end charge, but it's going to be the D200, a 1305 at 99 miles an hour. But look at that, folks. 1355 at 100 for the Dakota. Dakota putting on a huge top-end charge. Alrighty, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark in the left-hand lane. Today at the wheel of Elvira is Clay Sametz from Martinsville. That's a 74 Plymouth Duster, 408 cubic inches, question marks in the horsepower department. And in the right-hand lane, it's the Pontiac GTO of Brian Hebert from Regina. It's a 408 LS motor making 600 horsepower. GTO versus Dart. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. The GTO again picking up that left front wheel a little bit. Should be a good run for both, though. Elvira's hanging in there, but it will be the GTO getting there first. 1178 at 113 miles per hour. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, running a 1328 at 103 on that run. And again, the staging lanes are going to close at 1 o'clock today. The staging lanes are going to close at 1 o'clock today. So if you want to make your runs, you best proceed to your staging lanes. So we'd be looking for radials in lanes 1 and 2, slicks in lanes 3 and 4, and street tires in 5 and 6, because again, those staging lanes are going to close in about a half an hour at 1 o'clock. All right, we've got Gary Free in the left-hand lane in the 69 Roadrunner, 650 cubic inches. And in the right-hand lane is Ian Urenko from Battleford in the Banff 2. That's a 2023 Ford F-150, 5 liters of Ford, 700 horsepower. Horsepower advantage does go to the F-150 on this one. And the Banff 2 certainly living up to the title. Indeed, that's a 987 at 139. Roadrunner runs a 1439 at 106. I think that's pretty close to what the Banff 2 ran last pass, so they'll be pleased with that, I suspect. Roadrunner ran a 1439 at 106. And we're sending our next pair for the burnouts. The cursed 442 of Adam Franco from Looseland is back again, making another hit. And in the right-hand lane is Darren Dixon from Grenfell. That's a 1969 Chevelle SS, making 400 horsepower from that 396 cubic inch Chevrolet motor. The cursed Oldsmobile did not disclose the horsepower on the tech card here, so we will see what that gap may or may not look like on the track. The Chevelle's going to be happy with the reaction time on that one. That's a 004 on the reaction time. I think I saw on the sheet there that reaction time was one of the competitions that we were doing here today. Cursed runs 1181 at 112. The Chevelle runs through at a 1377 at 99 on that pass. All right, we've got a tester on the track with us here today. This is Trevor Brander from Wembley, Alberta. This is a 2010 Nissan GTR, 4.7 liter. Sorry, I'm stumbling because I'm reading the horsepower figure. If I'm reading this right, this says 1,811 horsepower for this Nissan GTR here. You might want to grab your cameras for this one, folks. If this thing hooks up, it is going to go like a stabbed rat. Those Nissan GTRs are quick at the best of times. And this one, wow, he found traction right off the hit. Unbelievable. Look at this thing roll. And that's an 814 at 174 miles an hour. That's an 814 at 174 miles an hour for the Nissan GTR. Oh, man, 1,811 horsepower from 4.7 liters of Nissan. That thing is tuned up, and it hooked up. Holy Toledo, 814 at 174 miles per hour. I'm assuming the video of that one's going to be all over everywhere very, very shortly. In our left-hand lane in the 1977 Chevrolet C10 is Rick Scott from Halbright, Saskatchewan. And in the right-hand lane, that is Dylan McCormick from Kenora. That's a 2010 Cadillac CT-SV, 6.2-liter LS, 750 horsepower. That sedan is bad fast, absolutely. The 77 Chevrolet was no slouch either, though. Again, we're doing that elapsed time competition, but again, nobody wants to get there second. So the Cadillac runs an 11:01 at 128 miles an hour. The Chevrolet pickup truck runs a 13:26 at 105. And we'll just wait for them to clear the top end before we send the next burnouts, and here we go. Already in our left-hand lane from Weyburn, Saskatchewan is Adam Stelter. It's a 1968 Chevrolet Impala making 500 horsepower from 6.2 liters of Chevrolet motor. And in the right-hand lane is Ryan Magnus from Unity. He's rocking a 6.2-liter Chevrolet Camaro known as Misty. The Impala is getting a bit squirrely. The Misty was rocking hard through the gears here. This is going to be close at the top end. But this one will go to the Camaro, running an 11:32 at 128 miles an hour, 12:06 at 112 for the Impala in the left-hand lane. In the Pontiac Beaumont Custom is Keith DeJarlis. It says it's making approximately 500 horsepower. And in the right-hand lane, that is George Scott from Battleford in the 1967 Chevy 2 Nova. 6.2 liters of naturally aspirated LS motor making 600 horsepower. Again, the elapsed time competition is the name of the game. Both on a good pass, so we'll ignore the red light pretty well for the Nova, if I'm not mistaken. And Keith DeJarlis runs an 11:43 at 115. His opponent in the right-hand lane ran an 11:58 at 114. There's about 25 minutes left if you want to get to the staging lanes. They are going to close at 1 o'clock. So that's your 25-minute warning. This is your 25-minute warning. Those staging lanes are going to close at 1 o'clock today. All right, Brett Gregg from Floral, Saskatchewan has brought out this 1967 Dodge Dart GT, 360 cubic inches of Mopar. And in the right-hand lane, this is Trevor Sauer. This is the 66 Chevrolet Impaler. Those are big, fat slicks on the back of the Impaler there, and it's using all of them. Finding a good pass on this one. The Impaler runs a 940 at 146 miles an hour. The Dodge Dart GT runs a 1457 at 97 miles per hour. The Impaler putting in a good show there. 940 at 146 miles an hour. That Econoline is putting in work today. James Frayne from Weyburn, wheeling the 1961 Ford Econoline, 400 cubic inches of Chevrolet, living underneath the, well, I guess the cab, actually, of that one. I was going to say underneath the hood, but it is a cab over. So the cab is over the engine on that one. And in our right-hand lane, from Muskegon, Saskatchewan, that's a 1989 Ford Mustang, 5 liters, 400 horsepower. And James Frayne and the Econoline is just putting in absolute work today. Look at that thing go. The Fox Body Mustang is working to reel it back in, but is going to run out of real estate. A 1328 at 96 for the Econoline, a 1227 at 116 for the Mustang on that one. Difference, not much. A lot of it in reaction time, though. But again, the lapse time is the name of the game this weekend. All right, we've got Dallas Bartel here in the 1972 Plymouth Duster, 350 horsepower out of 360 cubic inches. And in the right-hand lane is Brian Stevenson. That's a 2014 Shelby GT500, 5.8 liters. Not telling me the horsepower on the tech card this time, so be it. So we've got the Duster and the Mustang on this one. Boy, that Mustang is quick. That GT500 is absolutely motoring today. They've got it locked in. 988 at 150 for the Mustang. Duster runs a 1375 at 99. Good run for both vehicles on that one. 150 miles an hour. That's nothing to sneeze at. Absolutely. That's quick. Adam Stelter looks like he's going to have a bye run on this one. That's that 1968 Chevrolet Impala we've seen today. 500 horsepower, 6.2 liters of Chevrolet motor on the Impala on this one. And he's got it wide open. And the Impala is going to charge through the top end at a 1204, 112 miles per hour. Alrighty, we've got Matt Hendry in the left-hand lane, hailing from Dundurn in the 2010 Dodge Challenger, 6.1 liters of Hemi. And in the right-hand lane is Sheldon Klutzel from Warman with the never enough horsepower 5-liter Ford. Muscle truck, muscle car. Handshakes and let's go. Very even on the tree, but look at the pickup truck go. The never enough horsepower Ford runs an 1163 at 120. Matt Hendry runs a 13.5 at 103 with the Challenger. This is your 20-minute warning. Those staging lanes are going to close at 1 o'clock. This is your 20-minute warning. Next pair is the classic matchup, Camaro versus Mustang. Camaro's in the left-hand lane. That one's David Scott's entry. That's a 2014 Chevrolet Camaro. That's a supercharged LS motor, 6.2 liters, 550 horsepower. And in the right-hand lane is Kerry Reap in the 305 powered 3.7 liter Mustang. And the Mustang's hanging in there. Those high winding smaller engines do work. But it will be the Camaro getting there first. A $13.95 at 109. Mustang runs through to $15.14 at 93. All right, we've got the hot hatchback in the left-hand lane. This is the Ford Focus that's been running today. This is Josh Verdun from Weyburn. He's making 300 horsepower out of 2 liters of turbocharged Ford. And in the right-hand lane, we have got Nope. What do we got? Nope. Sorry, my brain's starting to fade. That's Floyd Chappell in the 2013 Dodge Challenger, 392 cubic inches on that one. Hot hatch in the left-hand lane, modern muscle in the right. And you can hear from the exhaust note just how different those engines are laid out. The V8, of course, with the mighty rumble, but the high-winding turbocharged Ford is hanging in there. It's going to be the Challenger, though, 1459 at 100 miles an hour. 1577 at 91 for the hot hatch Ford Focus. Alrighty. We got Warren McCauley from Saskatoon. That's a 1991 Ford Ranger, 3 liters of Ford. If it's the engine I'm thinking of, that's a V6. And in the right-hand lane, boy, this thing was surprisingly quick. Don't sleep on it. It's Chelsea Lockie from Viscount. It's a 2021 Dodge Ram TRX. And the TRX is going to go through the top end first. Boy, those things have just been hammering at the track today. 1288. 1288 at 105 for the TRX. I think that's a fairly significant improvement over its last pass. Won't help the spread at all. 1847 for the Ranger. At 72 miles an hour, though, the Ranger might be really happy with that. I seem to recall it was running that 18.3, 18.4s pretty consistently today, so he might be pretty pleased with that result there. And on the Bry run here, it's Chad Hildebrand. That's a 2018 Ford F-150, 5 liters, no horsepower disclosed. But it still runs at 1062 at 130. It's a good run for that F-150. There's a bunch of good running F-150s here today. They're certainly faster than the 1990 Ford F-150 I wheeled through university. Probably just as well I didn't have a pickup truck this hot. When I was there, that would have ended poorly, I suspect. Alrighty, left-hand lane is Sarah Stinson. That's a 2013 Dodge Challenger RT 5.7 liter Hemi. Question marks on the horsepower department. And in our right-hand lane, it's the Banff 2. That's Ian Urenko. That's a 2023 Ford F-150, 700 horsepower out of 5 liters of Ford on this one. The Banff 2 has been running strong all day. Squatting and shifting through the gears is that F-150. Look at him rumble. 987, 137 for the Banff 2. And Sarah Stinson runs a 1428 at 97 miles an hour. All right, laying down some fog to keep those mosquitoes down there with that burnout. And that burnout was Stephen Betker from Saskatoon in the 1964 Ford Falcon, 600 horsepower, 438 cubic inches of Ford motor. And in our right-hand lane, that is Eric Humphreys. That's a 1976. Whoa, way out of the groove. Way towards center on that one. Did Galler it back up, though, but you can see it from my vantage point. The tire tracks depart the sticky part of the course entirely there. Still runs at 1058 at 126. Eric Humphreys runs a 1303 at 100. Holy Toledo, that thing made a move towards the center line. Holy cow. Didn't cross it, though. Did Galler back up. And did make a clean pass, 1058 at 126. All right, we've got Gary Free here. This is a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner, making about 650 horsepower. And in the right-hand lane is Cole Stamets from Nacum, Saskatchewan. That's an 88 Dodge Dakota, 360 cubic inches of Dodge, 350 horsepower. Gives up about 300 horsepower to the Roadrunner, but it is finding traction, and sometimes that is the name of the game anyway. The Roadrunner is going to have to do some work at the top end here, but no, it's going to be the Dakota, 1309 at 101. Roadrunner runs a 1415 at 103. Keith DeJarlis is wheeling the 1967 Pontiac Beaumont Custom, 383 cubic inches of Chevrolet, making about 500 horsepower. And in the right-hand lane, it's the 08 Chevrolet Corvette. Hard to believe that vehicle is almost 20 years old. Where did the time go? Making 800 horsepower out of that LS3. Both vehicles hooked hard. The Beaumont made a bit of a move to the inside lane, but has found the groove again. They are basically neck and neck. It's going to be Walter Fournette's getting there first. 1077 at 130. 1143 at 116 for Keith DeJarlis on that pass. Not sure if that was the number he was looking for or not. Was that good? Or yeah, it was good. Okay. One more. You've got 13 minutes. 13 minutes till 1 o'clock. Pretty happy with that pass, it sounds like, from the DeJarlis camp there. Going to try and make one more, though. They got 13 minutes to do it. Because, again, those staging lanes close at 1 o'clock. Hot Hatch versus Modern Muscle here. The Hot Hatch from Weyburn, Saskatchewan, belonging to Josh Fedun. That's a 2016 Ford Focus. 2-liter turbo, 300 horsepower. And in the right-hand lane is David Scott. A 6.2-liter supercharged Chevrolet Camaro, 550 horsepower. Camaro runs a 1386 at 109. Ford Focus runs a 1542 at 92. Indeed, this is your 12-minute warning. Those staging lanes are going to close at 1 o'clock. Because we will need to get to the drive part of the Drag and Drive event, but of course, the drag part is very important right now. You can see Ed waving Keith to go right back around. All right, he's excited. We got a few coming into the staging lanes here. We'll just let them load back up. Again, we've got about 11 minutes till those staging lanes close. If you're looking to make another hit, now would be the time. And the TRX is making another pass. He's got a buyer, or she's got a buy run railer on this one. That's Chelsea Lockie from Viscount, Saskatchewan. TRX has been fast all day. 13 even at 105. I think it ran a 1288 last time, or 1280. That's maybe a little bit more spread than they want at this point, but who knows? Can't remember if it was in the 13s a couple times, so we'll see. Again, everyone's going to have to do some math at the end of the day. Forget that noise. Math, man. Not my scene. I use it, but I don't like it. If that makes sense. All right. Some coming back around in short order again. We've got, let's see it. This is your 10-minute warning. Those staging lanes are going to close at 1 o'clock. This is your 10-minute warning. If you want to make another hit, I would proceed to those staging lanes. This is the 10-minute warning. And we've got another buy run here. Carrie Reep's going to have the track to herself. That's a 2014 Ford Mustang. 3.7 liter, 305 horsepower. She's been putting in some passes today. She'll have lots to work with in terms of those time slips. Find the set that is closest together. Oh, look at that on the tree, a 004. Carrie Reeps chasing that reaction time. That's a strong effort right there. And through the top end, the Mustang runs a 15-12 at 93. That's a 15-12 at 93 for Kerry Reap. Sarah Stinson getting in another pass in the 2013 Dodge Challenger RT, 5.7 liters of Hemi, question marks on the horsepower. She'll have the tractor herself on this one. Again, getting those time slips, getting that data, trying to find the magic numbers that are all clustered together. Again, if you imagine the times on a dartboard, you want your darts as close together as possible. Sarah Stinson getting out there, getting another time slip here. And she runs a 14:15 at 98 miles an hour. All right, the Datsun is back. Jeff Ham from Martinsville. It's a 1973 Datsun 240, 5.3 liter 240Z motor, 600 horsepower. And in our right-hand lane, we've got David Baird from Osler in the 63 Chevy 2. Boy, that Datsun is quick. Oh, man, look at that thing just slicing through the air. Those designers did a bang-up job on the styling of that one. It runs an 1128 at 123 miles an hour. Oh, man, that thing is speedy. And the Chevy 2 runs a 1428 at 67. All right, we've got Stephen Betker here from Saskatchewan. That's a 1964 Ford Falcon making 600 horsepower. And in the right-hand lane is one of your organizers for today is Tyson Darrenowski in that GMC pickup truck there. He's got about 450 horsepower, if I remember right. Yeah, 450 horsepower in the 72 GMC. Ford Falcon was 600. If you've ever wondered what the gap in 150 horsepower looks like, well, this is a picture of that. Falcon runs at 1062 at 126. And the GMC runs a 1432 at 94. Got a buy run here for Josh Fadun from Weyburn. 2016 Ford Focus 2-liter turbo, 300 horsepower. We've been pretty consistent today, but must have seen something on the time slips where he's wanted to run again. Grab another one. If it's been running solid, he probably won't want to make a ton of changes, but we'll see what he does. It's been pretty consistent all day, this Ford Focus. Again, ultimate speed is not the name of the game. Ultimate consistency is. Alrighty. Our next pair, ready to rock and roll. Left lane, Keith DeJarlis, 1967 Pontiac Beaumont Custom, making about 500 horsepower to 383 cubic inches of Chevrolet motor. And in the right-hand lane is Eric Humphreys. That's a 76 Dodge D200, 440 cubic inches, and they are off and running. The Beaumont is making hay down the track today, and it's going to be an 1148 at 115 on that one there. Eric Humphreys runs a 1306 at 99 miles an hour for the pickup truck. All right, I think we've got a single coming in here. This is your 5-minute warning. Your 5-minute warning, that staging lane is going to close at 1 o'clock. So this is your 5-minute warning. If you're looking to get another hit, I would make my way to those staging lanes. Alrighty, Gary Darrenowski is up next. This is a 2022 Chevrolet Corvette. 500 horsepower, 6.2 liters of C8. Has been working that one time. He found traction on the hit that time. He's on a good hook here. And out through the top end, At 12:35 at 114 miles an hour for Gary Darionowski in the C8 Chevrolet Corvette. I see the staging lanes are empty. There are 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left before they do close at 1 o'clock. If you want to make a hit, now would be a good time to get to the staging lanes. If not, I hope your ET slips look like you wanted them to look, and good luck on the drive here today as well. I look forward to hearing of all the adventures and hopefully not too many misadventures when we gather back tomorrow for our second day of time trials for our 2026 Home Quarter Drag and Drive event. We're going to thank our sponsors yet again: RWH Motorsports, Tiger Automotive, Triumph Construction, Superior Diesel Services, Kipco Millwright Machine Services, Sheriff Crane and Rigging, Safe Lift, Bridges Health, Ashley Woodvine Photography, Performance Plus, LB Signs, Saskatoon Tees, and again, celebrating 60 years of speed. It's Saskatchewan International Raceway. We want to thank all of those for being out here today. We want to thank our staff again for putting in the work, keeping the track up. And we're going to thank Medivie Ambulance as well for being out here with the paramedics, having our back at the track here. All right. Got a couple more, it looks like, have made their way to the staging lanes here before we call her a day. The Ford Focus is going to make another pass. Going to see, saw something on the ET slip and has decided to come back and make another run here. Making the drive up from Weyburn to be here with us this weekend. So we got to thank everybody who's traveled to be a part of this weekend. We really appreciate it. This event has been great. It was super good last year and it's super good again this year. So thank you everyone involved with that. And of course all of our competitors too for making the haul up here. All right, the Ford Focus on the bye run here. What's he going to run? 1564 at 89 miles an hour. I'm not sure if that's quite the number he was looking for. I'm not sure it isn't, but I'm not quite sure it is. All right, you got a minute 45 if you want to get into the staging lanes there. It's a minute 40, well, 40 seconds now, but not much left. If you want to get another hit, it's probably past time to be getting your way to the staging lanes here. Gary Darionowski, he wanted another hit of the good stuff here. He's making another pass in that 2022 Chevrolet Corvette. Those C8s are stellar to look at. You see them on the street and they really grab your eye. Obviously, no slouch in the performance department either. Look at this one run. 12:37, 114. All right, those staging lanes are going to close in 55 seconds. We're counting it down now. Thanks again to all of our staff for being out here, putting this on for us. And of course, thanks to Tyson and Jansen as well for all the organizational work that goes into an event like this. See one car left in the staging, just going to see what's going to go on with that here. Again, we'll start our time trials tomorrow again as well. Around the same time, I suspect it's today. Get them all in. Hopefully everyone got the ET sleeps that they were looking for here. So. All right. All right, we got the checkered past cab here. It's Marley Breeze behind the wheel, going to make a few passes right at the very end of the day. It's a 1981 Chevrolet Malibu, 350 cubic inches, 300 horsepower. And it's going to be making some eighth mile passes out here, grabbing some of those all-important time slips. 9:15 at 74 miles an hour for Marley Breeze on that one, the checkered past Malibu, performing, I believe, as they expected.